actual mount for the tripod, so it's kind of just balancing on it. This chair's really old. G'day everyone, if you can't tell, I'm not out of the bush in the Mallee, I'm at home with a couple of dogs trying to lick my face. The reason I'm not in the Mallee doing this intro is because I'm trying to do something different. I'm doing a bit more of a edit heavy kind of meme, so you can actually see me talking to you. So yes, we spent the weekend in the Victorian Mallee. Spoiler alert, we found some snakes, not the ones we were looking for, but a snake's a snake, I suppose. Once again, the first find of every trip has to be a stumpy. Found a brown snake on the way in, flew off the road before we could see him. Found another stumpy too. Lots of DORs. Hopefully that's a solid sign that we might get a few snakes this trip. It's going to be really good conditions. Let's see how we go. Okay. Strangely, we only found 7 stumpies this trip, which is extremely under par. This time of year is awesome because they all go out looking for their partners. These little cuties are the only species of lizard that practice long-term monogamy, which is when a mummy and a daddy love each other very much and they stay together for several years. They'll be separate, find each other for breeding season and have 1 to 3 live babies which they'll raise and protect for a couple of weeks until they leave, then separate again only to find each other the next breeding season. During the day, roach of some sort, they get really big. See that this one's kind of not that big. First herp night one, cute little beaded gecko. You guys have seen these before. They're everywhere. Hey, hello little friend, don't attack me. Hopefully find something a bit cooler, but it's taken us a while to find this very first gecko, so not particularly tasteful. Not particularly tasteful or hopeful, but hey, it's a herp. We always find little Savannah nightjars sitting on the road, but this one was especially friendly. We drove past him on the way up and all he did was just sit there. We turned around and drove back and he was still there, so I jumped out to make sure he was alright. Let me get close enough to give him a pat, and then he flew away, freaked out because I touched him. This is what I woke up to. Absolute magic. Bird life out here is crazy. There's just a little wren of some sort there. First herp of the day. Another beautiful big stumpy. This one's really big. Very skinny tail. They store their fat in their tail, so it's fair sign this one's not getting much food, but they've had a fair bit of rain, so hopefully you can get some food in you in the form of many different things. Cute little Mallee dragon. These guys are literally everywhere out here. They are super fast and they're really friendly until you just get a little bit too close and they just shoot off at a million miles an hour. Look at that, but you can just see how friendly they are. Hello little kitty. Probably 2 foot away from him. Hello little fella. You're very cute. Here's a big STENOPHORUS. These guys are one of our bigger skink genuses. It's literally like 300 of them. There's not that many, but there's a lot. Got a little painty little PICTUS. Where's he gone? There she is, female. If we can find her. Right there she is. Try and get a better look at her. Little female painty, I believe. Today's the day of the lizards, not so much the snakes. Hey, hello cute girl. Nope, there she goes. There we've got another little PICTUS. See how close they'll let me get. They sometimes are quite friendly. I'll just talk to him while he's here. That's a male. He's in a nice visible spot there so that the girls can see him. The males have much brighter colours, so he's putting himself on display so that when the girls see him, he looks really good and he says, I want to mate with you. Let's do a bit of a run. See him doing his dance. This is a male knobby dragon. A really nice looking one. Quite long, so he's got his black sides, he's got his white lip, yellow stripe, and he's actually got a pink tail. This park is very unique for having very much arboreal bearded dragons. The Mallee's literally crawling with bearded dragons. This one weekend we found 18, which is a relatively slow one. Of those 18, 15 of these little weirdos are found in trees. Nowhere else in the country do I find this many arboreal beardies. I couldn't tell you why. Might be because of the intense heat radiating from the ground, could be to steer clear of predators such as gould monitors or brown snakes, or it could be both. Or they could just like it up there because they want to confuse me, I don't know. Do I have to know everything? This one's super tame. We're about to drive it out for a night cruise and this one's just wandering along next to the car. Yeah, okay little friend. Oh, there he is. Alright, first find of the night. Before we even found a gecko, we got ourselves a nice big Burton's legless lizard. The Burton's legless lizard is an awesome species of pygopid. Pygopodidae is a family of lizards that are closely related to geckos rather than snakes. Burtons are one of the most widespread reptiles in the entire country and they are very, very strange. The most distinguishing feature is their bizarre shaped head which is flexible. They're obligate lizard eaters and, like snakes, constrict their prey, but rather than wrapping them in coils, their flexible mouths shut around a lizard to suffocate it rather than crush it. Alright, first snake of the night. Second significant find. I did find a beaded. I controlled the situation so that I could get the camera and show you, but then I found this guy, which is a fair bit cooler. It's a little blind snake, but he's a super duper long skinny one. He's only a baby, he's absolutely tiny. You can see by the size of that ant. But you can see he's pretty cool. He looks just like a giant worm. So these guys eat ant eggs. And these guys are the #1, the only thing that bandies eat, which is the biggest target that you can possibly have out here. So fingers crossed, this guy's out here as a food item. Blind snake ×2 for the night. Same species, whatever that one was. This one's very fat. She's a bit bigger. Not sure how big this specific species gets. She's pretty cool, she's just cruising along. Very friendly because they're very, very dumb. Little beaded, second one of the night. Tiny fellow this one, somewhat chill, but also at the same time terrified and running for his life. Yeah, we got 3 species tonight, that's actually a fair effort to be honest. Considering it's quite chilly, we had a little spot of rain. This is probably a good thing. Alright, so we got ourselves a little spiny tail. Finally a new species of gecko. These guys are quite cool. They're one of our prettier geckos. This is not a very pretty one. So he's got a regen tail. If they have the original tail, you can see little spikes on them. They actually shoot a very sticky substance when they're frightened. I've never had it happen to me, but I've seen videos of it happen. It looks like they have to be pretty scared for it to happen. So ideally it wouldn't be happening, but they've got really pretty eyes. Whoa. Okay, so we've got a big tarantula burrow down here too. Don't go down there, dude. You will be food. The spiny. This is a bit of a fatter, bigger one. Still can't really see the spines on his tail. It's another regen tail. But yes, we've found a few of these guys. Just drove past them because these guys are everywhere. These guys are bearded geckos, and binos for that matter, are very, very common lizards out here. I keep stopping for these guys because I want to show you the ones with a spiny tail. I want to find a spiny tail gecko with a spiny tail, and there's so much to ask. They're all regens. They're all regens. Just give me a normal gecko. Alright, we got the third species of gecko for the night. Little binos gecko, and he's very, very fast. Now, these little guys are parthenogenic, and they can breed with themselves. They can do identical clones of themselves without a sexual partner. Here's a bit of a look at him. They're pretty cool. They're also known as prickly gecko. That's because they're bumpy the whole way down. Get a load of the size of this fella. So, him versus my hand, he's approximately very bloody big. Look at that. You can see how cool he is. They're completely harmless, obviously, being roaches. They're absolutely sick. They're a burrowing roach, so they stay in the ground, and they're very big. They're so cool. I appreciate your existence, little friend. Blind snake #3, the biggest one of the night by far. We're actually starting to get rained on. I think this is the other species with much thicker bodied. He's probably the same length as the last one, but probably 5 times as heavy. Won't spend much time with him because we're getting wet. We're trying to get back to home because it's cold and we're not finding much. But we're finding these guys, which is really weird because it's really not warm enough. They have no business being out, but they are, so won't complain. We'll let him carry on about his business. Alright, So it's the next morning. You can see we're still finding spiny-tailed gecko. This guy is actually quite a nice looking one. So their daytime colours are slightly different. You can see how pretty he is. Does he have a spiny tail? No, well he's gone anyway. Cute little baby nubby dragon. He's very cute. Hello baby. Only the second one, but he's only a baby. That was all we found the last day. We really didn't get much, it wasn't that eventful. We just found some rubbish to lift, a few lizards under it, but really it was quite quiet that last day. Just kind of disappointing because we were checking out some new tin, really hoping to see a dwyer or something like that. You win some, you lose some. Didn't find any strap snares, didn't find any coral snakes, didn't find any yellow-faced whip snakes, didn't find any bandies, didn't find any western blue tongue, didn't find any Gould monitors. Most of our big targets we completely missed. But that's alright because the Mallee's awesome and the conditions were fantastic. It was super comfortable just to be there. So I would never complain about that.